Science is really cool. It like hurts your brain a little bit when you don't know what your teacher's talking about when you're daydreaming in class. I definitely don't do that.
Science, in one sentence. Science is really for these children about finding things out for themselves, about investigating and using their curiosity to actually ask questions and discover things for themselves.
Science is fun, unusual, because you do all these experiments and they're things that you wouldn't imagine you could do. So it's a lot of fun and unusual.
Science is the ability to come up with theories, to go and experiment and look at those theories and then draw conclusions about the whole world around us.
Progression, the future, making the world smaller, looking to the stars as perhaps a future place to live and work and hopefully play.
The future is what science means. Our future.
Science in outside school is a creative, imaginative experience and is the creation of things. Science in schools is something completely different.
What is science?
What is science? That's such a hard question. Science is amazing. Shall I leave it at that?
A little bit better.
So the Science Jamboree is an opportunity for children from primary schools to come and do some hands-on exciting science. Nearly 2,000 children from over 50 primary schools coming here, and they actually meet real scientists and do some real science, and they go away excited and enthused and wanting to do more. All the research evidence suggests that if we've lost children from science by the age of 11, we're not going to get them back. If they go to secondary school and they've turned off science in primary, you aren't going to get them turned back on again. We have to engage them, the earlier the better. Discovery Park's a wonderful venue, and we're really grateful to the park for having us here. It's an inspiring building, and of course on site we have all these great scientists that are working here. So the venue itself inspires the kids. We want them to come here to do more science, to get excited by it, and ultimately perhaps to want to work here.
So the Science Jamboree started back in the 90s. So Pfizer, at that time, were looking at trying to work out how we could enthuse more children, get more children in the local area particularly interested in science, hopefully to encourage them to move on, maybe to study at university and hopefully take up careers in STEM subjects. It started back at our social club, started off as a relatively small event with a few schools, but it's grown over the years through till 2011, where Pfizer at that time chose to sell the site, and Discovery Park decided they would want to take on and continue to run the event. In partnership with ourselves, we've continued to run the event over the last 7 years at the park. That event continues to grow, is going from strength to strength, and this year we'll have about 2,000 children come through the 2 days from 54 different schools, which I think is a fantastic number of children for us to be able to access, to be able to convince and talk to.
Oh, this follows the button. It does, yes. Every time we press your button,
Going forward, I think ourselves and Discovery Park are committed to making sure the Jamboree happens year on year, to continue to work on that. On top of that, I think ourselves at Pfizer, but also Discovery Park, we're looking at how we further partner with schools through events like Community Lab, particularly partnering more with primaries to try and get students interested again.
I mean, we have a huge responsibility for young people at Kent County Council, and we were the local education authority, and now government are running things from the centre, but it doesn't negate us from our responsibility to drive people through the educational brief, be it schools, primary, infant, secondary, make sure there's jobs at the end of it. And it's the early engagement with your specialised subjects like engineering and science. And science is really important to young people because as the future rolls on, we become more technical. things are more scientific. Mars is closer than it was in the 60s. So we've really got to be upbeat with our young people to actually ignite that flame, to actually get them interested in a future. And many decisions over jobs can be made in the primary phase, because we don't want young people getting into secondary school thinking we really don't know what to do. I think Discovery Park is on the map. And I think being a peninsula county where we're surrounded by sea, we need something that's absolutely the star in the area, the employer, the people with high intelligence work and can actually pass on that information to our young people. So unusually, being out on a limb, this draws lots of young people from all over the county, and I'm very proud of that.
And you're going to tell me when to drop. 1, 2, 3.
I think it's absolutely brilliant that so many schools are able to bring children along to just see what is so innovative about science. The children enjoy it so much. It stays in their mind because it's such an exciting day, and hopefully that atmosphere of science and what science can do for the world stays with them for a lot longer as well.
Ooh, rather better break than usual.
Science Jamboree is very important because research shows that children in primary school are the right age to engage in understanding future STEM-based careers, so science, technology, engineering and maths careers. And if we get them early enough and introduce them to inspirational role models, then they are more likely to have the right aspirations to go further in their careers in the future.
1. Yellow.
Go. So what pH was it to start with? What number was it to start with? And what number do we think it is now? 4. So we've got all the way from 14 all the way up to 4. So is this now, this solution, is this now acidic, neutral or basic? Acidic. Well done.
My name's Emily. I'm the undergraduate community and STEM project manager for Pfizer, and today I'm helping out at the Jamboree, the Science Jamboree. I'm running one of the demonstrations that we have today called Bright Sparks, and what that's doing is introducing students to static electricity. We've got a Van de Graaff generator that we get volunteers to come up, and they do lots of hair raising experiments, and it's been a really great experience, a really fun time. All of our volunteers have really enjoyed it, and the students have really enjoyed it as well.
My name is Erin and I'm from Ethelbert Road Primary School.
Have you had a good time here today?
Yes, it's been very fun.
What was your favourite thing about today?
I loved it when we launched rockets off so we basically had this machine and it launched up and some got really high on almost to the ceiling.
Okay, so if you watch carefully his face, you can see how he uses.
I want to be an accountant.
An accountant? Why do you want to be an accountant?
Because the accountant that I know is really inspiring because he works with famous people, he has 2 villas in Spain, and he's a really nice guy.
What would I like to be when I grow up? That's an interesting question. Interestingly, I would love to be an astronaut. I think the excitement, particularly as we come to the 50th anniversary next month of man first walking on the moon, I think just the thought of being able to go up into space and to see the world from that kind of distance is a really exciting idea. extremely scary but really exciting.
And what would you like to be when you grow up?
A scientist.
You want to be a scientist too?
I'd probably want to go back to being a farmer, which is where I started. I love what I do right now, which is all about making things happen and bringing exciting people together to make great things happen for our district. But perhaps in a few years' time, when I grow up a bit more, I'd like to go back to my farming roots.
What would you like to be when you grow up?
I'm not too sure.
You're not too sure? No.
I want to be a marine biologist.
A marine biologist? Wow.
What do I want to be when I grow up? Now, I think I would quite like to spend as much of my time engaged with the types of activities that we're doing here today as possible, because I think when I grow up, I would like to ensure that all of the children, especially in this region, have the opportunities that I had that maybe others have not.
I'd like to be a gymnast.
Gymnast? Wow, that's interesting.
So my answer to this question has changed a lot throughout the years. So I'm currently studying biomedical science at university. So science has always been a subject I've been really passionate about. So I've thought about after graduation trying to carry that on, going into some kind of science outreach or science teaching, because I'm really passionate about inspiring the next generation, and maybe even coming back to work for Pfizer at some point. So yeah, that's...
What has been your favourite thing about today?
The cannonball thing, where he put a paper, like scrunched up ball, and he put it down this tube, and then sprayed the same hairspray that my mum uses on her hair, and then like lit it, and then it like made a huge sound, and then it like went like over there.